Frau.
I've found the thing you asked me for, but are you absolutely certain it won't harm you?
Don't be silly. Of course it won't.
Fine. I hope you know what you're doing. Can I have your name band now, please?
Yes. No matter what they say, I do keep my promises.
What do they... You know what? It doesn't matter. Thank you for your help.
Oh Gott. Ihr habt mir gerade Heroin gegeben, Freunde. Wo geht sie jetzt hin? Jetzt ist sie weg. Okay, Freunde, jetzt müssen wir nur noch die Schwester loswerden. Sie ist weg. Strange. Sheila. Handschuhe. Annies Namensarmband.
Please do not touch these. They are all confidential documents.
Yeah? Well, maybe you shouldn't leave them out on the desk.
If you are looking for some...
Thanks.
Leertaste kann man abkürzen. Wir können ihr das nicht geben. Es ist ein Armband von Anne Jennifer Burton. 15.11.75. Handschuhe, Handschuhe, Handschuhe. Handschuhe.
Can I make a phone call, please?
Oh, yes, of course. But the phone's being used at the moment. Can you please come back?
Handschuhe.
Thanks.
Und ein Gefäß. Alles andere ist weg. Die sind noch da. Patientenakten. Das ist bestimmt ganz einfach. Ich komme nur einfach nicht drauf. Gummihandschuhe. Ziemlich schwer. Sie hasst Blumen. Die Susan. Irgendwas müssen wir hier machen. Wir müssen die Schwester hier irgendwie verwickeln. Die Tür ist schon geschlossen. Ich schaue an. Eher schmutzig. Ah! Oh Mann, das war ja einfach. Und das Reinigungspersonal ist doch gerade nicht da. Ja, perfekt.
Someone is coming.
Have you rang the bell? Is there an emergency?
Tell me something more about yourself.
What? Oh, well, that's hardly an emergency.
It is when you need to use it urgently, like I do.
I see. Fine, I'll sort it out. Just give me a minute. Ah, it's the gloves. Again! I guess I'll have to get my hands dirty since the cleaner's called in sick.
kommen hier raus, Freunde? Genau das habe ich gebraucht. Perfekt.
Sorry, Mom, can't let you through. We'll need to see a discharge letter from your doctor first.
Here. Are you happy now?
Yes, that seems fine. Can I just check your name band to confirm that you are indeed Anne Burton?
Oh, all right. I didn't realize you knew how to read. There you go. Can I go now?
Of course. Thank you, Mom. We'll see you soon.
No, you won't. Now get out of my way.
Okay, Freunde. Abgeschlossen. Eine Lagerraumtür. Tür zu einem Büro ist auch abgeschlossen. Exit. Oh.
And you must be Susan Ashworth.
Well, perhaps I am?
Do you mind if I ask you where you're heading to?
I was just going for a little walk, stretch my legs, get some fresh air. Give it a rest. I'm not going anywhere.
Miss Ashworth, please relax. There's been a mistake. You have been prescribed wrong medication. I apologize sincerely on behalf of my team and the hospital, but luckily we managed to spot it on time.
On time? You have no idea what I've been through?
Once again, I'm truly sorry. I promise no more drugs will be given to you. I personally guarantee you will have a good, peaceful sleep tonight, and you can be discharged in the morning.
Why can't I go tonight? I want to go now.
I'm really sorry, but we can't legally discharge suicidal patients without a full psychiatric assessment. It's too late for it now, but I promise we'll have a chat in my office first thing in the morning, okay? And then you can go home. Is that all right?
I haven't really got much choice, have I?
Now I'd like to ask you some questions about your life, Susan. You might find them very personal, but it's important that you answer me as honestly as possible.
Fine. Let's get it over with then, shall we? I'd like to go home at last.
Of course, I understand. So, Susan, let's see. Are you living alone at the moment?
I live on my own, and it suits me just fine. I don't need anyone. People mostly bore me. Sometimes they annoy me or upset me. I'm happy with how things are at the moment. I have my little bit of space, and it's my own. It's private. I'd like to keep it that way.
What do you do for a living?
I'm between jobs at the moment. I'll find something soon. But it's been difficult. I didn't feel that great. I felt weak and powerless and tired most of the time. I felt really awfully tired.
Typical depression symptoms. We can give you something for that. You'll feel stronger and motivated.
I admire your faith in modern medication, Doctor. I hope you're right.
Describe to me what your mornings look like. What is the first thing you do each day?
I eat breakfast. Cereal usually.
Excellent. A healthy breakfast at the start of the day is extremely important. Would you say that you feel safer at home than outside?
Yeah, I suppose. it's not really about safety. I've just felt sad for a long time now. Really sad, you know? Somehow it brings me down even more when I go out and see all those happy, successful people. It makes me feel more like a failure. If I don't see it, it doesn't hurt that much.
What do you think is missing in your life? Or rather, what is one thing that you think would make your life better?
A good friend. Someone I could finally trust. But I can't see anyone will turn up anytime soon. I've become a social hermit. People avoid me.
You'll have to try to open up a bit. Hopefully the suicide watch worker will work with you on that.
Don't think it'll help much. I heard they're not very good.
Really? Sorry to hear that. Have you ever attended group therapy for depression or some other form of counseling?
Yes, it didn't help much, as you can see.
Just something to think about. I can see you're really willing to open up and talk about your issues. That's a positive sign.
I haven't really talked about my feelings for a long time.
You're doing very well so far. Do you have problems sleeping?
Every night. I take pills for that. There aren't any left now, though.
In the light of recent events, I think you should stay off those pills for a while. I suggest you drink some hot milk before bed instead.
Wow.
Would you describe for me how you feel at the moment?
Definitely better than before the accident.
Good. Hopefully you can now move on from here. With a bit of luck, you will enjoy life again. Suicide attempts often have that effect on people. Same as near-death experience. It makes you realize that you're not ready to die yet. Do you find it hard to concentrate?
Yes, sometimes.
Do you drink alcohol, Susan?
Only sometimes.
I'd suggest you don't consume any alcohol at all for a while. Does that sound like something you can do?
Yeah, sure. I'm not a big drinker anyway.
Sometimes when life gets too much and people feel sad or upset, they think about suicide. Do you often think about suicide?
No, of course not. I don't know what got into me. It's hard to explain why I did it. I must have thought there was no other options left. But I never used to think about it or plan it. It just happened. As if I'd suddenly lost control. I knew what I was doing was wrong, and yet I was unable to stop it. Strange, isn't it?
Please, in your own words, try to explain to me, why did you really try to take your own life, Susan?
Nothing was making me happy anymore. There wasn't a single thing that would bring a smile to my face. I kept thinking, won't it be better if I just disappear? I tried. I really tried to find something. Took a long bath, picked up a book, watched some television, but I just couldn't get into anything. All those things seemed like worthless distractions, and I myself felt obsolete, needless. It just would get worse and worse. By the afternoon, I realized I cried for the past 3 hours. I didn't even know I'd been crying until I went to the bathroom and saw my face in the mirror. I looked like a ghost. I looked like I was dead already, you know? And then I saw the sleeping pills. I thought, why not? And I did it.
Do you feel as if you're a burden, or that life isn't worth living?
Sometimes, when I feel really low, I used to think everyone would be happier without me, but I guess people don't really care. Besides, I live alone. Who could I be a burden to?
What makes you feel better?
My cats. I always put out a bowl of food for the stray cats. They're ever so grateful. I like their company.
What makes you feel worse?
Noise. Too much noise really upsets me. I can hear everything through the thin walls of my flat. I have this neighbor. He often parties late into the night. It drives me crazy.
Have you imagined your funeral and how people will react to your death?
Oh, I never really thought about that. But I guess it would be a cheap one. I don't really know what they do with people like me. Maybe they just throw us in a hole and forget about it, since there'd be nobody to visit my grave anyway.
I don't think so, Susan. The city would pay for it.
Or so they want people to believe.
Finally, I'd like you to tell me about Eric.
Eric?
Yes, your husband. I believe this might be important. What can you tell me about your relationship? What had happened between you two?
There's nothing to talk about.
Fine. I suppose you've opened enough for one day. Okay, one more question. This is just a formality, but I have to ask, are you going to do it again?
That's a hard one. I don't know. But hey, I've got it. The answer is no, I'm not. Thank you very much.
Excellent. We're nearly done here. There's just one more thing I must clear with you. What exactly happened last night?
Huh?
Well, after I'd met you outside the ward yesterday, I went back to my room and fell asleep. I slept really well, considering what happened earlier. But then someone woke me up. It was the same nurse who was so friendly with me the first night. She said we needed to talk.
We must go, Susan. You are not safe here.
But
Please, you must follow me. Quickly.
Liz? Aber was...
I went after her. The ward seemed very quiet. It must have been late at night.
Hurry!
Wait for me. Tell me what's going on here. The security guys were gone. She pointed at the corridor and said,
You go first. I'll explain everything in a minute. Susan, if we don't escape now, they're going to hurt you. Please trust me. I know a way out of here. I'll help you escape. Let's go down this corridor. I'll be right behind you.
Kurzer Gedankenblitz. Kann sein, dass Susan Liz sich nur einbildet, dass Liz nur imaginär ist. Die Medikamente könnten ein Pferd umhauen.
I think I can hear someone coming.
Damn it! We can't go through there. Let's turn back, Susan. I know another way.
Ich trau der Sache nicht, Freunde.
Turn left here. We can use the maintenance lift to get us out of this place.
Ein Feuillet anlegen.
What are we doing on the roof? Liz.
Nein. Wir können nicht mehr runter.